Okay, another one. So Chase Cunningham, DrZeroTrust here. I'm going to show how we would deal with something like scanning ports. And the reason that this is valuable is earlier when I showed those screenshots of stuff you could find if you poke around the internet, that's part of the reconnaissance phase. You hear about the Lockheed Martin kill chain and whatever else. You've got to find targets to go after targets. The first thing that you do red team wise when you're trying to find a target is you scan and look for ports that are open. Then you'll find services and applications that are talking at the side of that. You go off and do your vulnerability research, use Metasploit, Kali Linux, whatever else, and then you go rip that thing to pieces. Now, we talk about SSH, FTP, whatever else. There's millions of them if you go out there and look through the internet, and you can find those. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying you can. So what if we were able just to cloak that and make it where they didn't respond anymore? Same applications, same things going back and doing what they're needing to do, but we're just going to say, look, this application doesn't need to talk that way so that we don't have to worry about it being scanned and someone finding it vulnerable on the internet. It makes life pretty easy. What's it look like when we don't have that? So let's look at that first. So here we are, port scan. You know, you'll notice there it is. So run nmap because that's what everybody runs. We're even doing this within the same sort of network thing. So there you go. So now you see FTP, SSH, and HTTP. So we scan that host and it coughed back responses. Now you would be able to go off and do other red teamer hackery things, Kali Linux, all those. But the point is, you ran a scan, you got the ports to talk back to you, you can begin to work through this. And I showed you earlier that it's easy to find SSH, HTTP servers, et cetera, et cetera. So the question becomes, how hard would it be to stop that from occurring without causing impact degradation to applications, users, et cetera, et cetera? Well, if you apply the web application isolation approach, WAI, we can take care of that because the policy will say there's no reason for this to occur. There's no valid business case, if you will. We put a control in place and it's just going to kind of make the application side of it, the ports protocols, go dark, if you will. And we can do that at speed and scale. So what does that look like? And here we are, same thing, same control. All we did was turn on WAI, running the same command, but we're running it at the shield side of it because that's where it's actually running the WAI. And notice they're starting nmap, and that you go. All you see is filtered, and then you see 443. So the same ports and protocols, the same stuff is up and running. The application hasn't been touched. FTP, SSH, that stuff is still there, but because of the WAI side, we've basically twisted that, made the application do things that are more secure. And now we have those other controls in there that will actually handle this and take care of it. So we made an application, I guess you could say, go dark without talking back to the internet, saying things that it shouldn't, which makes us inherently more secure. And the thing to wrap your head around is this is not about perfection all the time. This is about being better than the next. And if there's a million of the other SSH vulnerable servers out there that are talking, if we remove ours, we're not in that same group. So this is a good way to solve the problem.